people were putting like pictures of Hillary and saying funny things, or they put Barack Obama and they're like, I guess he's our best choice now. What was the other one? There was some really fun. The really funny one was there was a picture of a potato and it said, I think like Joe Biden is a potato.
I think like Joe Biden.
The same Joe Biden thoughts.
Their office, their campaign office, is so smart that they basically left.
I gotta show you.
They left a sign up, and then you fill in what you wanted to about Joe Biden. And I mean, who in their right mind?
This was on the Twitter.
We're live, by the way. We're here.
That's okay.
Oh. Like live?
Yeah. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Don't you love that?
Yeah.
I have to tell you, the beginning of our show is the best.
Yeah.
If there's anything to watch, it's our opening 20-30 seconds.
Gotcha.
It's amazing.
Well, this is Uneducated. It's Friday, April 17th. Right?
Yeah.
It sure is.
April 17th.
All day.
17th.
And we are going to be talking about some really serious things today. Potatoes.
We think alike. Then there's the one where he's smelling the chick's hair.
Oh, nice. This is where you are in a room and people are laughing about stuff and you feel really uncomfortable because you have no idea what they're laughing about.
Jokes.
Well, we brought you right into what we were talking about because we've been going at this all morning for a while.
Yep, we have been. So this is where we talk about really important things, but you don't have to be educated to think rationally and logically about those things. Jesus' disciples were not educated men, but they had been with Jesus and they knew wisdom, and that's really what we're seeking for is wisdom, not necessarily knowledge or smarts or intelligence, but wisdom. So, boys, what's been going on? How has your quarantine been going?
I gotta be honest, I'm done with it. I'm ready to go on to the next thing.
Yeah?
Do they have another thing to roll out? Because I would like to try
a next phase.
Do they have a next phase?
I'm running out of free home renovating projects. I renovated my living room and I've done my barn.
Nice.
Just running out of free things to do, though. I'm starting to have to put money in it. I'm like, I can't do that.
Right.
You could just try sitting around.
Yeah, but it's so boring.
I've enjoyed it.
Speaking of sitting around, you boys have been watching some documentaries. You want to share any insights into some documentaries you've been watching?
Where do you want to start, Brian? Which documentary?
Plagiarism?
Do you want to talk about, Joe Biden plagiarism or the fact that he's got dementia? Or do you want to talk about 9/11 and the conspiracy theory that is, the movie Loose Change? Do you want to talk about Fall of the Cabal and how movie stars...
Cabal?
Yeah, movie stars eat babies and drink blood. Do you want to talk about... I don't know. I got all kinds of things. Then we can move into commentary. We could talk about... What's our favorite guy's name? Todd Friel. We can move into that area. I mean,
I'm out. I haven't seen.
Are you into any of that?
I haven't seen any of these things.
I haven't either.
No, I don't have great internet at home, so I can't just sit there and stream.
This is all I watch. I will. Okay, something positive for our viewing audience. I don't know if we have anybody yet or not.
3 on Facebook.
Okay, I'm trying to get over to the YouTube.
So you better start keeping their attention, or else they're out of here.
They're outie.
Unashamed, I think. You can look up Phil. Here it is, Phil Robertson, and it's Phil Robertson, Jace Robinson, and the one brother that wasn't on the Duck Commander show.
Alan.
Alan, yeah, he's an actual preacher, I think.
He's an actual pastor.
Yeah. They have a really good podcast. I've recommended it to you. You should check it out. They actually use the Bible. I think that you would watch that and go, wow, that's kind of what I actually envisioned for our church's podcasts.
Well, the old dude really knows the Bible, too.
Yeah. They all do.
Do you really?
Yeah. It's pretty solid if you want a good little...
What's the name of it again?
Unashamed, I think.
Unashamed. So that's actually a better title than Uneducated.
Overall, it's better than ours.
Yeah.
They even have a cool table. I really think that you would look at that and go, drat!
Hey, there has to exist a B team for the A team to be the A team.
That's true.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So, hey, you just fill the role you're in.
Yeah. So if we ever get invited to a wedding, we should probably sit at the back of the table.
Oh, yeah, we'd be the mutants at table 9.
Oh, that's usually where I go.
Yeah.
Don't forget to say happy birthday, Corey. Hi, all. That's my dad.
Corey, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
How does it feel to be 29?
Plus 10.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just happen to be the same age, so I always know.
I mean, I can't help it. I can't help it that Matt likes to rob the cradle.
Oh, you cradle robber.
Yeah, real. What is that, a man? Is that a man cougar?
Man
Do like
cougar.
a puma.
A puma.
Yeah.
You can see we have a lot to talk about today. I literally did label our Facebook show, Are We Done Yet? I want to move on to the next thing.
Yeah, this is true. I think it's about time. And to be honest, I think even if you watch the media, they're slowly becoming,
Hungry for something else?
yeah, tired of.
Well, listen, this is their own fault. This is the life they've created for themselves.
Yeah, right.
You know, I mean, even impeachment.
The every 15-minute frenzy.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, all right, listen, we've talked about this for 3 months. We need something new.
We need fresh chum.
We need fresh chum.
Yeah, right. Hey, I just want to shout out to Carol. Brandon logged on, but I don't think he's watching now. And Tony, she had logged on. She joined. But I think they go in and out. I don't know what it is with that. Is it because I talk and then people log out, and then when you guys talk, they log back in?
No, I think it's the opposite.
I think it's actually...
If they're trying to filter out.
Well, all right, so I think that becomes... I think that's our OCD generation. Like, I seriously sit and watch all 45 minutes of Unashamed.
Uh-huh.
But, like, I'll just throw my wife under the bus on her birthday.
Happy
Like,
birthday.
We're watching it for like 20 minutes, and she's like, oh, what else we got?
Yeah.
You know, and it's not just... It's everybody's that way.
Right.
If I'm watching our podcast because I'm not here, I'm in for 5-10 minutes, and then I'm moving on to doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's on. Most people could be like, oh, that's on today. I'll watch it later, and then they never come back.
Right.
That's where I live life.
So we have to do something then to catch people's attention, to keep their attention, and actually probably make them feel so good about themselves that they want to stay here and watch. Because if they don't feel good about themselves, they're not going to stay and watch.
You want to suck them in.
Yeah.
So, okay, you want to appeal to everyone's selfish nature.
I think that'd be
I think
best.
it's going to have to be something like Puppet Show.
Or puppies.
Puppies.
Like, we'll have animals.
Oh, my wife. She made me so angry the other day. She said, so there's this app on your phone. You can take a picture anywhere in your house and put like an animal in there.
Oh, yeah.
She knows I love pugs. So she took this picture of this little pug standing next to the chair. And I was like, oh, you got me a pug? She's like, yeah, and I'm like, I'm thinking of names. Whose dog is this? And she wasn't answering. And then she finally told me it was the phone app. I'm like, oh.
So you thought you had a pug.
You thought you were getting
I was
a
so
pug.
excited.
Is that the one dog that would make you seriously happy?
Yeah, that's my spirit animal, apparently.
Speaking of spirit animals, do you have a spirit animal? No.
It's really not. It just kind of fell out.
No, I really like where you were going there. That was a very modern thought you just
I don't
shared.
know. They just really they light up my life.
Yeah, pugs do.
Yeah, you just look in that little face and you're like, hey, you.
Yeah, that's not strange at all.
No, I know. Let me show you the pictures.
Well, while you're pulling up that picture,
He just turns into a puddle of goo.
Because then she got all silly and sent one of an octopus there, and I'm like, that's not real.
I know. I know there's no octopus in the living room.
I know you didn't give me an octopus.
well, I'll tell you this. April and I were watching Tiny Houses, Big something. I don't know what it is. It's about people that buy tiny houses. Oh, wow.
It looks like a real dog.
It
sitter.
does.
Unless you know it's fake, then you're like, oh, I can tell that's fake.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, isn't that creepy?
Oh. I can see why you would get excited.
I just thought somebody was visiting.
That
and
was messing with
brought
your
this
heart
dog
rate.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, really.
And of course, I would have texted my wife and said, "Get it out of there."
Well, this would be the one thing I wouldn't.
No.
Anything else?
I haven't heard anything about Minnie. Did you guys eat her while we were in quarantine?
Not yet. She doesn't have a lot on her to eat. It'd be pretty sparse.
Well, I figure it would fit right into your diet. She's probably lean.
Yeah, she doesn't have
She's
a
a
lot of
lean.
fat on her.
She's a lean meat.
Yeah, I feed her lentils.
Could you eat her with frosted mini wheats?
You could. Minnie. Yeah. She gets on our nerves sometimes because we're trying to record and do stuff online all the time now, and then she'll start barking at the most inconvenient times.
Yeah.
You know, so she's kind of crazy about that.
So anyway, you guys are watching
The tiny house thing where they go and they look at people's
Tiny House's Ridiculous Dreams.
Yeah, whatever that is. And so this guy's in New Zealand, and he's with this couple who, and most of these couples, well, I shouldn't say most, a lot of them are not married. They're into earth stuff. They're usually vegans or something
New
like that.
agey.
Yeah, and they're just getting back to nature, and so they have these tiny homes so that they can reduce their footprint, all that kind of good stuff. So this couple, which I don't think they were married, but guy and girl, they built this tiny house, and she explained how he took one of the neat features of this house was he took metal and he cut the metal so it looked like the shape of the head and the trunk of an elephant, and he put it on all the corners of their gables or whatever. And then she went on to describe that the elephant is the god of art and creativity or something like that. And she's like, so that, you know, that kind of gives us a piece that's here. And I'm like, seriously, people would actually admit that they believe that the elephant is, like, people look at us and go, you mean Jesus that died and rose from the dead, and there's a book, you know, that has 66 books, and
I'll one up you and say we're the morons for believing that old school junk.
Yeah.
But the elephant, whatever picture art, which is supposed to represent whatever they think it does, that's obviously serious.
Well,
that's obviously a real deal.
That's what I'm doing. I'm thinking to myself, you know, even for them to go, like, now if I would have been on that show and I would have talked about how important Christ was in my life and stuff, they probably would have edited all that junk out.
That's not important.
No, it's crazy. So anyway, that's, you know, we watched a little bit of YouTube here at home, and I'm trying to think if there's been any real good documentaries or anything. I haven't watched documentaries because my kids...
you were telling us about the movie you found.
The Chosen.
The Chosen.
Yeah, The Chosen has been really good. I really have been enjoying that. We've been using it as our devotionals, and the boys...
Is it just released? Like, is it new?
No, it was done probably...
Is this the Christian equal to the Tiger King?
No.
It's only on the YouTubes.
Oh, it's only on YouTube?
Yeah. As far as I know, every episode is literally being paid for by people that donate, I think. Okay. At least from what I see. And Dallas Jenkins, who's the main director and producer of the film, he's been putting them together, I think, for a couple of years now. But I want to say they just kind of started debuting probably about 8 months to a year ago, maybe less than that. And you can download the app to your phone, or you can download the app to your Roku, I think. And it's just called The Chosen.
Oh, you have to get the app.
You don't have to.
On YouTube?
No, you can watch it on YouTube.
Okay.
That's how we've just been watching on YouTube. But you can download the app to your phone and get all the seasons like that. And they're trying to make it free for everybody to watch. And I mean, other than if people are going to criticize it, they may criticize it because he has added background information that may or may not be true to the story. And Jesus does paraphrase a lot of the things that he says. But, I mean, the message is there. And I think as far as a movie or an episode or episodes, I think it's pretty powerful. I mean, we've been enjoying it. And our boys, it's hard to keep our boys' attention, and they've actually been liking it. And usually at the end of each episode, there's a cliffhanger, and it always makes you want, like, oh, what's next?
You want it, it's binge-worthy, is what you'd say.
Yeah, matter of fact, he has a T-shirt that says Binge Jesus. And a lot of times because he'll come up at the beginning of each episode, and he'll talk about what they did to create this episode. And then he usually talks for a few minutes after the episode, too. Sometimes he interviews people.
It's like the director's cut.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. So I don't know. The Chosen, it's a good opportunity. I don't know if anybody else out there has been watching it, but it's a good opportunity.
In case you find some time on your hands and you want to watch a movie.
Yeah.
In case you got nothing.
In a late April snowstorm, perhaps?
Yeah. Got nothing. Hey, we were supposed to have a couple inches today.
It's coming.
Oh, it isn't here yet?
No, it's supposed to be this afternoon now, and then it's going to turn to rain tonight.
Watch out, y'all.
It's going to be a real mess.
Nice. We should probably cancel church Sunday then if
I
it's
think
going to snow that
so.
much.
The 7 of us.
I'll tell you what, why don't you all stay home and just maybe 5 or 7 of us will come here and do this, and that way you don't have to worry about going out in the snow.
Safety first.
I like that. Safety first. We would not want anybody to do something dangerous
No,
at all.
not at all.
No, please give away all of your freedoms
Yeah.
and stay safe. My dad says you guys could talk about GMO food supply chain shutting down and making riots, and then my wife really got into this week. This all of the what do you want to call it, the conspiracy behind all of this. And she says that we could talk about how all the major food companies are owned by China and other countries, which it really is fun and interesting to me how
So like every day we've been eating Chinese food?
it is like
Do they put MSG in
I
everything?
never
that they
thought
sell
about
us?
that. It's like every day we eat Chinese food.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, they're shutting down meatpacking plants, and they're wondering if we're going to have a meat shortage. So if everybody wants to wait until about 1:30 when I'm done, you can go head to the store and buy some meat.
Meat shopping.
So, or you could be a vegan and not eat meat.
Well, they're saying all of the, did you hear the stories about, truckloads of cucumbers and all on the beach? They got no way to get it out.
Yeah.
Well, that's got to go somewhere.
Right.
Why don't we start a trucking company? We'll go pick all that up off the beach. We'll take it to the store.
And sell it, yeah. That's a good idea.
But if you took it, if you lived in Michigan, you wouldn't be allowed to. You're only allowed to be Walmart.
Yeah, because you're quarantined. I mean, you can't even go to your neighbor's house.
Well, you can't go to your second home if you had one.
So Bernie would be shut into just one of the 3?
Yeah, Bernie would have. They want you to pick one.
Poor
pick
guy.
a house. Yeah.
Bob Hanasowski said if you want to go meat shopping, go in the woods.
We would, but all the Amish have pretty much cleared all that out.
Oh,
Wait,
have they?
No,
That's what I hear amongst
Steaks?
the hunters.
You can find steaks in the woods. Do they hide under trees?
No, cows stay in the field all the time.
Oh, that's true. I never think about
Let's
cows.
go take one down.
Cows?
Yeah.
What do you do with a cow?
Any old cow.
What do you do with it, though?
Well, you lick it till all the
I thought that
off
the
it.
meat came out of the back room in the store.
Yeah.
We know where it's it's
The
hanging and
styrofoam
they cut
actually
it?
materializes the meat. It's like a Star Trek replicator.
Oh, okay. Now, see, that makes sense. I thought that's what happened.
And the stuff you buy in the store too, it comes from people who have treated the animals very well.
Yes.
And
They all had names.
they all had names, and they took care of them. And then
They should really include the backstory on the food label. This was
They should.
This was Mittens, the cow.
Yeah, that would be good.
He loved the sunrise. He would always.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Well, but then think about little animals. So if you buy a bag of shrimp,
Timmy, Tina, Tony. This is the tea bag.
Naomi, it's good seeing you online again today. It's Good Friday, no, it's not Good Friday. Well, it is Good Friday. Why not?
It's always
Why
a good
should this
Friday.
not be a Good Friday? But,
It's always a good
This is
Friday.
excellent Friday.
good to see Bill on. Sarah, you're on. So listen, if you guys have any questions, topics, thoughts you want to just throw out, go ahead and throw them out. We can pursue that. But I think, Matt, did you have anything specific?
no,
you wanna-
you don't have any Bible trivia this week?
Well, I do have a little bit of Bible trivia.
Because I think that was a hot seller.
He didn't want me to cry about Win losing again.
Yeah. So today, instead of doing just the resurrection time between Passover and the resurrection, we're going to go Old Testament today.
Okay.
All right.
Can we do stuff that's super Samson related?
We could try some of that.
Love Samson.
Like
Perfect.
you wanted the question about what weapon did he use
Jawbone.
to kill? Yeah, see, that's
Yeah.
the easy one.
Love
Everybody
Love
knows.
that. That's how you
Use the
know
jawbone.
you're a Christian.
Where did his power come from?
Yeah, where did it
Other
come
than
from?
God.
I don't know. Where did it come from?
His hair.
Yeah, see?
Yeah,
Duh.
it's Goldilocks.
You don't even know, and you're the pastor.
That's my favorite Old Testament story when I was little.
You like that?
I'm surprised you didn't know that, Brian.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
I still want to go to my favorite scripture. Teach a man to fish, feed him for a lifetime.
That's in there.
It's really my
I
favorite.
thought you were headed for Jesus Wept.
All right, we're gonna play to 21 again today.
Oh dear.
And playing to 21 by fives is somewhat difficult to get to 21. You actually have to get to 25 and then go back to 11 and then come back to 21.
It's cornhole style.
Yeah. Do you know cornhole used not to be seen as what we see it as today? That's not good. Right?
What do you mean?
No.
I don't know. When we were in school, cornhole did not mean a game.
Oh well, yeah.
that you
Obviously,
threw.
the term was co-opted for the. I'm referring to the fun game where you throw a bag full of beans at a.
I
board
still
with
am
a
not
hole
sure
in
what
it.
Brian's talking about.
Well, I'm not stressing it. No.
Well, when you eat corn,
That was in my old day. When you eat corn.
yeah.
Yeah. And it comes out whole. I don't know.
Well,
Is that what that
whole
means?
corn.
Whole corn.
Yeah, they just switched it around.
All right. So,
This is silly.
so the
We
first
digress.
question is this: on what day did God create man?
The fifth day?
I was gonna say fourth or fifth.
Fifth day?
Yeah. Fourth or fifth.
Listen, I know
That's
that
incorrect.
I know that plants were made on the 3rd and the sun was made on the 4th.
Okay.
I know that.
Sixth.
So you kind of need that stuff before you
Have
show
a
up
man.
man, right?
Yeah.
Right, that's why I said 5th.
Well, that's why we were going towards the later. end of
Okay,
the
all right.
spectrum.
You said sixth.
Yeah.
Sixth is right.
So it was like man was the last thing he made?
Yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah. That and the animals. So we were there. Oh, Marie, David and Marie say
Oh,
six.
my wife just texted sixth.
Yeah, good job.
Bonnie.
Good job, people. Good job. All right. So
Bob had a question. What do you think about the governor of New York saying God has nothing to do with how the virus is getting better in the state? Other than to tell you that Mr. Cuomo has a long history of being an idiot and only continues to show his idiocy by denying God. There's a movement of science versus religion.
Oh, yeah.
And science versus well, I guess it's boiling out. Like it's becoming a real thing.
Which I
We
don't-
have to listen to the scientists.
Not to beat this horse again, but it doesn't get any more empirically evident than man and woman. We don't look at that as science.
Whereas 3 months ago,
Yeah.
there was 82 different choices of
Right.
what
Right.
sex you wanted to
Right.
be.
What's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The people that believe in science say, no, it's not actually man and woman.
Right.
Yeah.
It's this whole spectrum.
No, really live in a world of believe
crazy.
in what's convenient for you.
Yeah.
What makes your truth.
Yeah. And the history of remembering things is roughly 2 days. Which is why I think you can see contradicting news reports from the same mouth of the same reporter,
Right.
like 5 days later.
Right. All right. So Mitch is up 5-0. He got the 6 number. And so now we're going to dive just a little deeper. Adam and Eve got to business, and they had 2 children. 2 sons, actually, Cain and Abel. We know that Cain, because of his pride and jealousy, killed his brother Abel. But after that happened, they had another son. Do you know his name?
Seth.
Oh, my.
You got
Here,
it.
this is coffee shop.
Coffee shop clapping.
All right, so we are at 5-5. That's really great. So we're going to stay in Genesis just for a little longer here. All right. So there arose a young guy that by the name of Cain, that after he killed his brother, he went out and God told him that he was going to send him out as a vagabond. But he asked the Lord to do something, and he gave the Lord a reason why he asked him to do it. Do you know what that was?
This I am lost on.
If he was going to send him out as a vagabond, he said, Lord, could you at least do this for me? And this is the reason why I want you to do this for me. David and Marie got Seth too. They're at 10. David and Marie are at 10. So we're gonna do it between our online viewers and you guys. We'll see who.
We're gonna lose for surezies.
Well, we'll see what happens. You know.
Yeah,
This-
we're pooling the
This
whole
one's a little
online community.
This question's a little tougher. They may have to look this one up.
I'm doing it right now.
No, this one's really tough. I would like to say though, doesn't Seth? He begat some pretty horrible cults that we have now.
He does.
Yeah. Good job, Seth.
Yeah. Great job.
They murdered the good one. You know, they always murder the good one.
Mm-hmm.
Abel was going to do great things. Can you imagine if there was a lineage of Abel? We probably would have a good
He wanted
bloodline.
whoever finds him to kill him.
Huh?
He wanted whoever finds him to kill him.
To not kill him.
Oh, whoever finds me will kill me.
Yeah, he says that's so he asked God to do something.
I'm a horrible skimmer, I'm sorry. Whoever kills Cain will suffer vengeance 7 times over.
Sounds like you're dancing all around it there, Mitch. You want to just drive it home?
Nobody online is
Placed a
joining.
mark on him.
Okay, there you go.
God put a, oh, my wife said God put a mark on him so no one kill him.
Yep, God put a mark on him, and the reason
Thanks,
for that
honey.
was so no one.
Does that count for me or to my wife?
I don't think your wife.
She got the answer.
It's like a
she's got
team
5.
answer.
So
Yeah.
she's got 5 now. Then.
Yeah, we kind of are one now.
Yeah, you are.
We lit the candles.
You are. That's true. So since you lit the candles, today,
But listen, we controversially left our other candles lit, which annoyed the pastor that married us. But we're like, we're still our own people.
Oh, so you're trying to say that you're?
It was very modern, Brian.
Yeah. Okay,
They really did have an altar of self.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, way to try and ruin my moment.
Yeah. Your pastor's he's probably not even pastoring anymore because of
No,
that.
he still is.
They
He still
took
is.
his license.
They
You
revoked.
let that go on in your church? I'm sorry, sir. You are no
They
longer.
revoked his wedding card.
You are no longer affiliated with our church.
Okay, so Cain went on to a
My
place.
dad said set a mark on him.
Boom.
Yes.
Okay.
So Cain went on to, after Cain was sent off as a vagabond, he went on to a place called, can everybody say Nod?
Nod.
It was
Nod.
east of Eden.
Yes, east of Eden. So he
That
went on
sounds
to
like
this
a
place
movie.
called Nod, and he took a wife. I'd like to ask you where the wife came from, but we don't seem to, nobody really seems to
Well,
know
we
where that
really
happened.
don't know how many people there were. It obviously was a couple.
Right. Not to mention, God took Adam and Eve and placed them in the garden, so we don't know how many people were outside the garden before that. But anyway, long story short, Cain took a wife, and he begat so-and-so, and he begat so-and-so. And finally he begat one gentleman who actually was the first gentleman to have a double homicide. So Cain was the first one to have a single homicide. This guy was the first guy to have a double homicide. And then he was arrogant enough to say, listen, God's not the one who's going to take vengeance, but if anybody comes after me, then I will take vengeance on his life. If anyone deals with this whole thing in the wrong way, I'll take vengeance on their life. And so what was that guy's name? Do you guys know? Maybe, Mitch, by the time you get there, you can read us the story.
The Punisher?
I doubt it.
The Punisher. That's a good name. That should have been his name.
No,
Yeah.
listen, that's a pretty serious guy right there.
Look, I am really slow reader, so
Listen,
we're really highlighting
listen,
that.
don't spare my life. I will enjoy killing all the people that come after me. That's his attitude,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I'm
basically-
really counting. I'm killing time till my wife texts me.
You're gonna let her give you the answer.
I've got my research people on it.
You giving my dude to do?
Yeah, you might not want to say it was her though, because then you're gonna lose points.
That's all right.
So, yeah, first double homicide. It just gets worse. You notice that Cain did one, and then sin just seemed to get worse and worse and worse. And then you have this
I've got Lamech? Question
Lamech,
mark.
yep. Lamech, yep.
Perfect. Nice job, honey.
Yep.
Nice.
Very nice. Very good.
Now, I mean, we've moved all the way to today where we're eating babies.
Oh dear.
Hollywood's eating babies.
That's great.
Hollywood is eating babies.
For
We don't know what, right?
Well, for their power.
So I'll tell you this then. Let's move on. So we are now at Genesis chapter 6,
And we have a group of young ladies who are out at the local bar. And while they're out, there are some kind of...
The Nephilim.
Huh?
The Nephilim.
On the filing.
No, those aren't them. Not yet. So
I'm trying to
they're-
be proactive.
We're not
so I
even in
get
Genesis 6 and all
points.
this?
He said 6.
no, we are in 6 now.
Okay.
So they're at the
All that
bar.
other stuff happens before 6?
Oh yeah. You bet.
Wow, that's some crazy times.
And so the sons of God show up, who are probably spiritual entities that took on some kind of human form, and they decide to get these women and take them as wives.
And they really weren't at the bar, just so everybody knows that. But
Well, they could have been.
They could have been.
They could have had some mead.
Let's say the water well.
Yeah. And so they took these wives, and they had children, and the children had a specific name given to them. Do you guys know what the name of that was?
No, what did you call it?
The Nephilim.
Yeah,
I already
yeah.
answered this
I
one.
know, but I didn't want you to like. I didn't want you to take it because I thought, oh,
Wait,
no.
the Nephilim are the children?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the half breed.
They were men of great, and they became men of great
Yeah,
renown.
they were
I thought the Nephilim were the
Sorry, honey, I got this
with
one.
the sleepers, not
She said I got
the
nothing.
not the sleepies.
The sons of gods were the ones that came down and took the
Okay.
wives. Yeah.
All right, so
So the final.
that's where like Beowulf comes from,
Or Hercules.
or Hercules,
Hercules, yeah.
all those
Yeah.
stories.
Hercules.
Hercules.
All right, so then now we're going to move on. So we moved on from the sin and the garden and the first murder and double homicide. And then we moved to angelic beings getting all crazy and stuff. And now we're going to move on to a place where there's a certain gentleman that is put in power, and he is lifted up and exalted almost as a deity.
Nimrod.
That's correct. How do you guys
Boom.
get these so quickly?
I don't know, but he's not even skimming. I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm just going with the parts of the Bible that I know that fit my narrative of all the stories and nonsense I believe.
Hey, to get super anxiety, when he gets to the one where it's Abraham Lincoln, we're going to have to fight over it.
Okay.
Now, can I ask you?
Abraham Lincoln, we're gonna
all right, so listen for a bonus 5 points.
Uh-huh.
So that would put you at 15, Matt, which would put you 5 ahead of Mitch now because you're both
Right.
at 10.
But then it could put me at 15.
It could.
Let's be honest.
Yes. Okay. I didn't think about you answering it, but yeah.
That just hurts.
What chapter do we find the story of Nimrod and the Tower of Babel in Genesis?
Well,
chapter
the way this has been progressing, I'm going to say 8?
No.
7?
7, right?
6.5?
Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so.
7's the flood. 6?
Wait, is Nimrod after the flood? Yeah, I guess he would be. Look at how evil. Like, God killed he slaughtered a whole group of humans.
Yeah. Then he has
Genesis 11.
Yes.
Genesis 11.
Thanks, honey.
He lets them out of the boat,
Uh-huh.
and within 3 more chapters, we're right back where we started.
Yeah, I did not see that twist
So
coming.
I did one of the movies that I did watch this week goes through that history and goes through the history of all the people who have virgin births.
Oh, like Horus and different. Mhm.
all those legends.
Right.
You know, it was kind of trying to distinguish what makes the Christian story different. I'm trying to remember what the purpose of that YouTube video was, but anyway, I guess I didn't realize they presented it. Nimrod wanted to build that tower so that if God flooded the earth again, he could stand on top of it.
Oh,
That's a good idea.
Yeah, he was
Great idea.
That's pretty smart, huh?
Yeah.
that's pretty neat.
That's pretty neat. This is an Aspen because it is.
David Miller, sorry, it was not 10, it was 11. My dad, though, did get Genesis 11.
Good.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to move on. And now God finally, through all of this sin and corruption, he finally decides he's got to pull out a nation for himself. And so he decides to go to, so right now it's 10 to 15, is that right? So he decides to go to this guy by the name of Abram. And he has a wife, Sarai. And later on their names are changed to Abraham and Sarah. But Abram is promised a certain child that will be the child of the promise. Now, because Sarah can't wait for that.
Ishmael.
Okay, hold on. She says, here, honey.
Hagar.
Yes! Take my handmaid.
I didn't even have to find that one.
What is her name?
I had a 50-50 shot.
That one I knew.
Okay, all right. Yeah, you were close. So Hagar, of course, has sexual relations with Abram. They have a child by the name of Ishmael. But now it's 20 to 10, Matt, so you're kind of down.
No, it's okay.
I can't give you the Ishmael yet.
It's fine.
So finally they come back and...
Who becomes the father of the Muslim nation?
Yes, you're right.
That's where the Muslims come from.
Yeah, you would like for me to give you extra credit, but you're not getting it.
No, I'm just trying to now show you how smart I am.
Okay, all right. So now we move forward here, and they decide, okay, maybe we should wait for the Lord. And a couple of, well, actually 3 individuals show up to Abraham,
and speak to him about this whole promise and tell him, hey, this promise is coming. You need to wait. And Sarah, his wife, does something that the one individual, the angel of the Lord,
laughs in her head.
yes, she laughs, and the angel of the Lord tells her, why did you laugh? And she says, I didn't. And he says, yes, you did. And she did it in her head. That was Sarah. You're right. So you're 15 and you're 20 now. You nailed that.
Nice work.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So
It wasn't even a PK.
so finally, we'll move forward now. So finally, they have this child, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And after this child, the child's name is Isaac, and then Isaac marries a young lady. Do you remember what her name was?
Ooh. Rebecca?
Rebecca. No, is it Rebecca?
I don't know. You just said yes.
I want to say it's Rachel.
I'm stabbing in the dark.
I think it's Rebecca.
Rachel or Rebecca?
No, Jacob's the one that marries Rachel and Leah.
Okay.
So it's Rebecca. You're good.
David
right,
Miller
Mitch?
says, David
I don't
Miller
know. I was
says
trying to
Becky.
get there.
Becky.
Becky.
Yeah,
Bex.
they called her Bex. Yeah, that's nice.
Bex.
Good job, man. So now, Matt, you're at
20. We're tied
You're
up
at
at
11
20.
now, Matt. Right?
No, we're tied up at 20.
Oh, you're 20. Okay. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and move past that. So Jacob now finally gets the blessing. He steals the blessing from his father Isaac. Jacob goes off and he works for his mother's uncle. What is his mother's uncle's name? Or I mean, his mother's brother, which would be their uncle. I'm sorry, I'd phrase that wrong. If that confused you, which I don't think it did.
Does this go to this? This isn't a Boaz.
No, not yet. That's in the story of Ruth.
Yeah, Ruth.
That would be the son of Salmon
Laban.
and Rahab. Laban.
Yeah,
Laban.
Thank you, David.
You got that?
Laban. He's
No, I like.
closer than you
Listen,
think.
listen. I really feel like I got David as Team Matt because he was on Facebook.
Yeah.
He jumped over to YouTube because he knows I'm watching YouTube.
Oh, gotcha. All right. So he's helping
Thanks,
you out.
Dave.
All right. So he goes and he works for Laban for 7 years.
I should have known that too because that's a VeggieTales movie.
Oh yeah, you should have.
Yeah,
they're good
gosh
on that.
darn it. Yeah, and
So-
I even can tell you that the person that played Laban, I think, was the little mustached
Asparagus.
squash.
Oh,
No,
squash.
Mr. Luntz.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Hey, Mr. Lance.
Mr. Luntz.
I've come to. All right, we're not.
Because Brian does not watch the comments on Facebook.
Oh.
I don't? Nobody's been commenting. I got 6 and Seth. That's it.
All right. So now we have. Jacob has been working for Laban for 7 years, and the
Okay.
reason he worked for Laban for 7 years is because he wanted to marry one of Laban's daughters. Now, instead of that daughter, Laban tricked him and gave him his other daughter. Do you know the name of the other daughter that he gave in
Hagatha.
Hagatha?
Oh, it's not Hagatha.
Okay.
This Bible trivia could catch on. Only I'm going to have to get really, really good at asking.
My dad. This is my dad. Matt does not do much better on YouTube, and you know why he's upset? Because I didn't read his Ezekiel 5:16 thing.
Oh,
Leah.
Leah is correct.
Thanks, Dave. And I'm keeping up, Dad.
Leah is correct. So Jacob now has Leah as a wife, and he says, "Man, I still want Rachel really bad." Fine, you got to work for 7 more years. So he works for 7 more years. He gets Rachel.
Wait, did he marry Leah?
Yeah, well, he didn't have. He got tricked. He married her when he went in to consummate
So are
the
you
marriage.
allowed? Oh, okay.
He did the old bait and switch.
Yeah, it's kind of under the cover of night. He went in. He's like, "This is." I thought it
So
was Rachel.
he's like, wait a minute, this one has a mustache.
Yeah, it's kind of like how when you go, when people go to the bar and they wind up in
Yeah.
the next morning and didn't realize what
The
happened.
one I like has all of her teeth. You're ridiculous.
This one wears glasses.
But honey, I took them off. All right.
We've digressed.
So
It was funny though.
so now it's 11 to 20, right?
You're doing a great job.
You're getting help from
No,
people, right?
I'm just trying to do searches now because you skipped ahead faster than I can scroll.
Gotcha. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
All right. So we're at 11 to 20 now.
My wife had to go tend to children. I'm blue letter Bibling it.
Okay. So now, let's see. Jacob is going to have.
Leia gave birth to Anakin.
No.
Now Dave's in it.
That's not true.
Dave's
No,
going
it's
off
not
the deep
true.
end.
That is not where Anakin came from.
No, he did not.
Because Anakin would be Leia and Luke's dad.
Correct.
Yes. Now we're in the Star Wars Bible.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Eastern theology.
Here's
Eastern
the
philosophy.
thing. All of a sudden, we could go on a real tear about Star Wars.
Star Wars knowledge.
And yet we sit here like fools with Bible knowledge.
Yeah. No, I was just thinking that.
No, that's
I'm glad
perfect.
you said it out loud.
Well, if you guys want to go the Star Wars route, you can ask me as many questions you want. I have no answers whatsoever.
No.
That really doesn't look good for us.
No, let's keep
Good luck.
let's keep going. We're at least learning this way.
Yeah.
Okay, all right,
You're
all right.
putting the good stuff in.
Okay, all right. So we travel on then, and Jacob has several children with Leah and Rachel, and they compete back and forth. Oh, I want kids, I want kids. Finally, Rachel has some kids.
Wait,
but
they're both his wife?
yes.
Sister wives.
Sister
if
wives.
you will.
Rachel's womb was shut up for a while, and finally, God, by His grace, He opened her womb, and she was able to have kids too. And so that
I
whole
thought you said room.
womb.
Got it.
Woo.
Yeah.
I'm in now.
Her womb was a tomb.
Sometimes when I say room, I say womb. But that's just because I have problems getting it out the right way. So anyway, so they have children, and eventually you have these 12 children of Jacob, who are his 12 sons, who will become the 12 tribes of Israel. What was the youngest?
Joseph.
What was the youngest son's name?
They were all peas,
Jacob's youngest
except
son.
Joseph was a pickle.
No.
The youngest son.
Marty?
Marty would. That's close, but no, it's not. That wouldn't
Like
be.
Marty
They might have
McFly.
called him Marty for like a nickname, but no.
So we're in the neighborhood. I'm going to try and have it just come to me. Dave.
Yeah.
And-
You just, however fast Dave can type is when you'll get it.
Dave, I thought you were a better typer than this.
Benjamin?
Benjamin is the youngest son.
That's not anything like Marty.
No, not even close.
You tricked us.
You tricked us.
So Benjamin. So you're at 11 now.
11. We're tied at 11.
So you're tied at 11. All right, let's try and get this thing done.
Let's try and wrap it up.
All right. So Joseph has brothers, and he has a couple dreams one night, and well, different nights. He has some dreams, and his brothers get really upset because they're like, "We're not going to worship you. This is not what this dream means." So his brothers decide to throw him in a pit to die, but instead, one of his other brothers says, "Hey, we shouldn't leave him there to die. We should sell him." So he gets sold in a caravan, and he goes off and becomes a servant in whose house?
Was the story where he stored the pizzas in the silo? It was that after?
That was after this. Yeah. Well, he would already be in with them.
In Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to remember that guy's name.
Potiphar?
Potiphar. Wonder why they never did a VeggieTales about Potiphar's wife.
Oh, that wouldn't look good with kids.
You don't think?
No.
You don't think they can make vegetables do that stuff?
Wait, what was... Oh, dear.
What would you say? The woman wanted him to crochet with her? How would you do that with kids?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's tough.
Would you come make a blanket with me?
That would be tough. So yeah, no Veggie Tales about Potiphar and Potiphar's wife and
Well,
Joseph.
this is, I guess, the reason I bring this up is that's why I didn't come up with the answer, because I would have needed that Veggie Tale to fill in the hole.
Well, yeah, you got good Veggie Tale theology.
The Veggie Tale theology is strong with me.
Yeah. Well, it is now 16-11.
Game point.
Mitch, if you get this, it's game point. So we're gonna up the ante here. We're gonna bring it in home. I'm gonna give a question where if you get this, I mean,
Sudden death.
yeah, sudden death.
So basically, I didn't have to do anything, and I can still beat you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like to change the rules
I
up.
love it.
No, this
Yeah.
is good.
This is exactly
well,
like
this
last
is
week.
fair.
Yeah, I would
This is-
expect no less.
This is fair.
This is kind of like a Pat Sajak moment for me. I just don't have a band.
And the question is,
Okay, so the question is this. The brothers that sold him into slavery finally make it back to him. Why do the brothers come back to
they were
They're looking
starving.
for food.
You guys both kind of got it at the same time. So we're going to go one more real quick.
Okay.
All right? So
It was pizza, and it was in a silo.
It's true.
Oh my goodness. All right. So then, when the brothers finally make it back, they're talking with Joseph, and there's a famous line that Joseph tells his brothers. And this famous line has to do with what they did to him and what he believed that God was doing in the midst of it. Do you know that famous line?
I'm your Huckleberry.
No, that is not it.
No, it's not a Tombstone
That's not
line.
it. No.
Okay.
That's close.
No, I don't have it.
No, Mitch might have it here.
I'm trying to go through the movie to see. They're all sitting at the dinner table getting fed.
Be Genesis
45 to 47, somewhere
That's
in
what
there.
that's what I'm looking at.
I really feel like Dave's disappointed that we didn't go into Star Wars trivia, so he is now withholding.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what people do when they get upset. They withhold their love for you.
Sometimes wives do that.
Sometimes husbands do that to wives.
Sometimes. Have you found this yet, Mitch, to win the game?
To really
a lot of
pull it
pressure.
out. To pull it out.
My.
So, if you have not,
Figured out the answer yet online. Mitch is going to tell us the answer
They
here
have
in
not.
just a few
There
seconds.
is nothing online to suggest anyone has this answer yet.
so while he's pulling this up, though, let me ask you boys a question. It is true that in our culture, that Bible,
What do you call it?
I can't think of the word now. But people who know their Bibles fairly well is at a low. I mean, it's really bad. Do you think that media plays a role in that?
Yeah, definitely. I think all the choices that we have, period. There's 8 million things that can pull you, that you'd rather do.
Right.
Video games. Now we've got anything you want online, streaming-wise.
Right.
Old, new,
Right.
any version that you want. You could renovate your own house to, who was it talking to? It's almost like my kids and the generation in between there, between like us and them, they don't really have a clue that things could be bad.
Right.
It is meat comes from the store
Yeah.
generation, And one of the good things, or one of the things that I was hoping to come out of this pandemic thing was that people would realize how fragile our ecosystem is. Like, we feel like we're lords of our environment, and science, solves all of our problems. But yet we could have a meat shortage in 2 weeks just because those systems are shut down.
Right.
And our whole world is run on just in time, which means everything happens as it needs to be consumed just in time.
Mm-hmm.
Did you find it yet?
I don't remember what the question is at this point. I've done so much skimming. What was the question?
The famous, the quote.
Famous line of Joseph to his
Joseph.
brothers, and I'm sorry, it would be in chapter
50.
50?
Yeah. Famous line. So the story of Joseph starts in 45 and it runs all the way through to 50. But it would be in 50. You might want to try verse 20.
Perfect, thank you.
I don't know that specifically. I just looked it up, but
It should be in there.
You planned evil against me. God planned it for good to bring about the present result, the survival of many people.
Yep.
Now, how do you think he delivered that over their pizza? Like, was it like satirically with a fork of like, you guys really tried to put one over on me, but God worked this out for our good.
Right. Yeah. When you guys decided to kill me and sell me into slavery, you sat there and ate your lunch, your ham sandwiches, and all that junk, and
And it
your
was all
Doritos,
good.
and you thought it was all good. And now you're starving to death. But guess what? What you meant for evil, God meant for good.
And he should have ended with, "You're welcome."
So that is our Bible trivia. And Mitch, you took that today.
Well, only with a lot of help.
You
of
walked
help.
away with it.
Yeah.
So you stop it.
Well, you still had a chance.
No, I'm very lazy.
And really, because it was technically double points time, I'm over again, so I'm back at 11.
Oh, heavens. This game can keep on
Keep
going.
forever.
So, we were talking about
Having the heat come on at some point?
Did a light just come on?
yeah, it did. That one.
That's
That
strange.
one was off.
I need gloves.
So,
It is rather cold in
My
here, isn't
hands
it?
just got cold all of a sudden.
I turned the heat up today.
So
Must not
what,
be
like 56?
67 maybe?
67. Wow. It's blistering. It'd make our church piano player turn on the fan.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
She has, it's not menopause, it's
I don't know what it is, but
Meno.
if you make it over 66, we're sweating in here.
Yeah. It's bad stuff.
Too hot.
So Matt, you were going somewhere.
Well, I was just going to the fact that there's no acknowledgement of how hard it could be. Plus, like, if you think about when we were kids, there weren't as many options. I still think that we lived in a country of plenty. I still think that we, had many opportunities. But it was like, here's a bicycle, go create the rest of your world outside. Mm-hmm. Now, there literally is something to buy for every little thing that you could want to do. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what it is. Mm-hmm. Somebody will sell you something for what it is you want to accomplish.
Yeah.
And so that leaves us in a world of, or at least I fear for my kids, and I don't think there's any way around this other than to punish my kids for no good reason and like give them nothing. My 4-year-old son, on his bicycle, was riding around our driveway, and he really wants a dirt bike. And so he goes, I think you were there for this that day. He's like, so we'll just go to the store and buy fenders. I need fenders for my dirt bike because he doesn't have fenders on his bicycle.
Yeah.
He's like, so we go into the store, we'll get fenders. That's just what you do. You just go buy what you need.
Yeah.
And so I'm tying this all into the Bible that's old news. It's been there forever. I got to read it. I mean, I don't have to read it. They have audio Bible. They have Bible in movies. They have VeggieTales. They have 8 different million ways to convey the Bible. But for some reason, it's work to study it. It doesn't matter how you do it.
Right.
Matter of fact, my family's been watching. There's these group of guys that have animated really with like a pencil. They draw as they're telling the story.
Bible Project?
It might be that. Mm-hmm. And so like they go through really hard books like Job and Old Testament stories.
Yep.
And they're kind of good. But again, there's a shift in conveyance even there. Like they're slightly snarky or smart. there's a whole different way that we talk to each other now. And you can argue whether that's good or bad. So I guess the Bible, and I leave this to Satan, of course, the Bible almost gets drowned out by everything we have available to us. And you have to work even harder now to focus on what it is God's trying to tell you through His Word.
Right.
Does all that make sense?
No, it does. And so then I would just come to this conclusion. Then what we're doing today, and maybe what we've been doing for the last, 50 years or more.
I mean, look at us, okay? We're just three clowns on a Friday up here in the morning doing a podcast for our church.
Right.
And we thank everybody that's watching, but we're just another piece of that digital stuff that's out there now.
But at least we do Bible trivia.
It's true. It's entertaining. I enjoy it a lot.
It's entertaining for the 4 people that are watching.
I think we're at, we have 10. We have 6. YouTube, I have to tell you, YouTube's crushing it this week.
Yeah?
Lit it up.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, then, here would be my conclusion to what you just said then. So everything that we've been doing for the last 50 or maybe even more years, 100 years, has not been what the Bible calls life. We haven't been doing life. Because what you're saying is people are making decisions now based on the fact of ease, and I just want this, and this is just the way it is. So if I want a dirt bike, I don't figure out how to create one or make one. I just go buy it at the store.
You almost can't do that anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
So, and yet when you get back to the scriptures, God created us to be creative beings that are working together. And so there's nothing wrong then with me going and buying a dirt bike from somebody, but the generation that's growing up is like, we don't do anything anymore.
No,
we just consume.
They're owed a dirt bike.
Yeah, they're owed a dirt bike, and we just consume. We don't do anything.
But this is the globalist machine, and that's how you're controlled. Mm-hmm. And that, I think that is exactly what is the problem. That's why everybody's willing to go sit in their house for 6 weeks. It's taken 6 weeks for people to go, hey, wait a minute. First week, all right, let's all see what happens. Yeah, second week, I think it's time we get out there and do something. That's the way it was for me.
Yeah.
We're at week 6, and some people are like, are they gonna send us more money like that?
Yeah.
Because if they send us more money, I'll just stay in my house.
Yeah.
I got a lot of stuff in my Amazon cart.
I got a lot of things in my Amazon cart I could buy.
Right.
No, that's really where we are.
Yeah.
It's like we talked about months ago. I was telling you about the Carol Shelby movie. Mm-hmm. Or like my grandfather, or my dad for that fact. There's a drive to create, make, be industrious, solve problems, build items, fix things, that is like, it's being wiped out.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why, we're going through Bible trivia this morning, and it just seems kind of fun, and okay, those are some neat stories, but those stories lay the foundation of man's plight with trying to live out being image bearers of God in a world where we are pulled away from all, with all kinds of sinful opportunities, and yet God always drawing us back. And then as He draws us back, we get into right relationship with Him, and then we fall short again. But it's that constant ebb and flow of that whole thing. And yet
that's the whole Old Testament.
Oh, it is. It
is.
It's everywhere. Yeah.
The whole Old Testament is, we worship you, we love you. Now we don't need you. We worship you, we love you. Now we don't need you.
Right.
I mean, and I guess that's how we all live our real lives, isn't it? Mm-hmm. We're in and out. Dottie Kearns said, memory plays a role for me. Just made flashcards on this story to study with my daughter for school last month, and I totally forgot the answers until said. So there you go. I'm guessing it's the Jacob story. That's what we were talking about.
Okay.
And she obviously made flashcards. And making the flashcards, she remembered the story, but then now that we're having trivia about it, it wasn't there until we said the answers.
Mm-hmm. Now here's the key then, and this is something I would just like to bring out. I tried to bring this out in our Tuesdays at 2.
Yeah.
But nobody was really, there was a few people watching, and so I don't think Tuesdays at 2 is a good time. So I don't know. We'll have to
Well,
see.
you're competing with wine with the wine.
Oh, is he on at that time?
Yeah.
You should move to Wednesdays at 1.
Wednesdays at 1.
Wednesdays at 1.
And spell 1 with a W?
Oh. Wednesdays are 1?
Oh.
At 1?
At
Perfect.
1. That might be a good thought. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I think that if you could...
Or you can do Thursdays at 3.
Thursdays at 3.
Wednesdays at 1, Thursdays at 3.
Fridays could be at 4. Saturdays at 7. Sunday you gotta rest.
I'm so sorry for coughing. All right, listen. You got to be careful because now the president's coming on somewhere between 5 and 6:30.
Yeah, so Fridays at 4 would work. Thursdays at 3 would work.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to have to go with a Friday at 4 or a Wednesday at 1, which would be neat because you could use the W. I think that's a great idea.
Good.
But anyway, I was trying. This is the point of the Bible, though. The Bible does not give us the wisdom that we need to live just by memorizing it or learning trivia. You have to sit and you have to look at those stories and you have to put yourself in the midst of those stories and then you have to think through those stories and then you have to look at your life and eventually then God turns on light bulbs in your mind and in your heart that goes, man, I'm a Jacob. Man,
It
I'm a Cain.
becomes applicable.
Yeah,
You
right.
can apply it
Right.
to your life. Well, and
Right.
I think that's where wisdom comes from and why you don't have any until you're older. Because you spend the first early part of your life screwing up so bad, wondering out where you're going wrong because you think you're so smart you got it figured out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so I mean that's partly for me. You know, it's been 20 some years, and I tell people, I'm like, listen, I'm like 20 some years into this whole thing of following Jesus, and I'm just starting to get a handle on some of it. Now, younger Christians look at me and go, oh, well, that's great. Now what do I have to look forward to? But that's the problem with people today. They're like, it's like a microwave society where I need to have this now.
We were just talking about that this morning.
And I'm just getting to the point where I'm going, man, I'm just starting to grab hold of this. And now that I'm starting to grab hold of it, I'm going, man, I feel like I wasted 20 years. But God in his wisdom is saying, no, that wasn't wasted. I brought you to where I'm at today, and I'm teaching you. And if you'll just keep following after me, I'll teach you more. But it's going to take a whole lifetime.
Well,
to do that.
and then you're going to have the ebbs and flows of society and generations. So only 4, 5 generations ago, our people were, for the most part, go-getters, have to survive, carve away, and when you carve away, it's yours, okay? This is a First Nation in the world where you make your way and it is yours.
Yeah.
And that's why this nation was successful, and yet my generation wants to throw it all in the dumpster and have the government take care of them.
Yeah.
They're begging to go back into slavery. Why does that happen? Why we're still doing the same stupid things, only now we're doing it in the name of science.
Right.
You know, I don't know. We got Corey said, I think we've always had to work hard at keeping the relationship with God. So, always had to work hard at keeping their relationship with God, and so must we. We must seek his truths, and the Bible reminds us to look, seek, and pray. We need to be in our Bible. And then my dad threw in God's word is a blueprint of life. Even Paul had to beat his body daily because of sin in this world. Correct. The blueprint is just a plan until you put it in action. So we got some comments coming in on the YouTube.
Very good.
Could also do Mondays at midday.
Mondays at midday, which that would be noon.
Listen, if you did Mondays at midday, you could catch me at my Bloody Mary hour. That'd be perfect.
Oh, wow. Bloody Mary.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
My goodness. It is actually 11:05.
The day has slipped away
It
from
has
us.
slipped away from us. And we just want you to know, Aunt Roberta says, Brian, who are your two co-hosts? Well, Aunt Roberta, if I divulged their actual identities, I may have to come make a visit to Mount Vernon. I'm not sure I could. All right, this over here to my right is Matt Wilson. He is a trained assassin.
Obviously, I'm just out of shape.
This guy here in the middle is Mitch Wilson.
Hi.
And he is ex-Navy SEAL.
Oh dear. No, there's like stolen valor and things like that.
Oh, there is? You can't do that kind of stuff?
No, you can't do that.
Okay, submarine captain.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Because it could be just a commercial submarine. Trust the Gorton's fishermen.
You think they get the fish for Gordons on a submarine?
You got to harpoon the big ones underwater
That's awesome.
and bring them in.
I like that a lot.
Mitch and Matt actually are a huge part of our worship team here at Northeast Community, and they're just a faithful bunch of guys that like to talk about Jesus and other related topics like politics and conspiracy stuff.
Yeah, we
And
kind of
so-
we mix a whole pot of stuff all together.
Yeah. We've been staying away from conspiracy a little bit lately. We haven't talked a whole lot of conspiracy
Well,
lately.
I feel like people get tired of that.
Uh-huh.
I live in it.
Yeah, you do.
I feel like you wear out regular people
Right.
on that stuff.
Sometimes I just really wish that the things that we see as conspiracy were actually conspiracy. The problem is, the more and more I look, it's all true.
Well, I mean, if you want,
I shouldn't say it's all true. A lot of it's
if
true.
you want to, mind blown thing, it's the conspiracy is to kill humanity. Like Satan, the Lord of this world, wants to crush humanity.
Right.
And so how he gets that done happens a lot of different ways. But this goes back to do you really think that there's 25 guys in charge? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. And I think those 25 guys worship Satan.
Yeah, right.
And they're just the doers of his work on this world.
Right.
But you just go down through the ranks then.
There are antithesis.
Antithesis.
Yeah.
I like that word.
Yeah. Very much so. Well, boys, we should probably wrap this up. This has been another
Fine edition
of Uneducated.
And we thank you guys for watching this week.
Yep, and you have a great week. And if you don't have a church to attend online, you can attend Northeast Community Church. We have services at 11 o'clock on Sunday mornings.
Do you want to announce our reopening plan?
Yeah, we're going to try to reopen whenever
cover charge?
whenever the authorities tell us we're allowed to.
What if that takes like 3 months?
If that takes 3 months, then here's what we're going to do. We're going to just keep doing what the authorities tell us to do.
Wow.
We're gonna have to talk about this off air.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Why are we going to reopen?
Well, I know we haven't talked about it whatsoever, but I was hoping it would be sooner than 3 months.
We're allowed at least 3 more people.
Listen, I think our tyrannical little toad in Columbus might be on a power trip and might drag it out.
Yeah. Well, hopefully by May 1st, we will be deemed as essential, and then those people who feel like they're not putting themselves at risk and want to come to church will be able to come to church. But we'll have to see what that looks like.
We should have done a show instead of wasting it on this past hour. We should have
wasting it on Bible trivia.
No.
Matthew Wilson, your mother would just be so
Your
upset
mother
with
would
you.
be shocked. Well, no. Wait till you hear where I go with this. We could have spent the hour discussing rights to worship and civil rights, and the church really should be allowed to do what it wants when it wants, provided it's within God's word. And, how long we let the state shut the church down. Mm-hmm. I mean, like I said, I'm all in for 2 weeks worth of prudence, but now we're in a month and a half worth of, hey, wait a minute.
Well, can I just, let me just say this, okay? They've already caused us not to be able to have Easter together, and let's face it, that's when most people go to church. So if anything, we could wait until Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
As long as we
I know that
No,
you know what? I know you're being funny. And
Mother's
I like
Day's coming up. It's another big one.
Oh, Mother's
but
Day
it's
is a
always
big
been
one.
our church policy to go, you should love your mother every day.
Yeah.
We don't make a big deal out of Mother's Day.
You don't necessarily have Mother's Day service, but that's when a lot of people go.
That's true. I didn't think about that,
to
Mother's
do their
Day.
moms a solid.
And that's in May, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's why Governor DeWine wants to get us open in May so that
think
the
so.
mothers
For
can be
he's
honored.
thinking about Mother's
And
Day.
then we'll shut it down right after
For Father's Day.
for Father's Day. Yeah, because who cares about
Who
Father's
cares
Day?
about fathers? I mean, they're all like Homer Simpson.
Pretty much. That's why we...
All right.
All right, so 11 o'clock on Sundays if you don't have any other place to be. you can check us out online.
And then Mondays at midday.
Mondays at midday.
Tuesdays at 2.
Wednesdays at 1.
Wednesdays at 1.
Wednesdays at 1.
Thursdays at 3.
And
Fridays at 4.
Fridays at
Fridays
four.
at
We've got a
4.
whole week's worth of
You really could be on a lot.
Thank you, boys, for making sure that my day is totally packed with getting online, saying stupid stuff that nobody will listen to.
Perfect.
Hey, we just filled up an hour of it ourselves.
But you could make each one. How long is your Tuesdays at 2? Not to say that I don't watch.
15, 30 minutes.
Okay, so make each one. Do it every day of the week, but make each one 5 minutes with a cliffhanger, so that people want to binge watch you.
It's awesome.
Boom.
I'm doing it.
Do
All
it.
right.
I'm doing it.
I just cut.
Oh.